when I wrote the essay on accountability recently on Substack, I was kind of making the comparison between like sort of revenge and accountability, and I think a lot of people think of accountability equals revenge, and I think that one of the reasons why people like sort of like goofing on Lily Phillips is because, oh, look at this slut, I'm holding her accountable. How so? I'm calling her a slut. Like, no, you're not. There's no accountability. Accountability only works if the person you're holding accountable learns the lesson. And then later on, they make a different decision as a result of you holding them, quote unquote, accountable. Okay. So really what you're looking at is, like I said, comeuppance, or you're looking for revenge. You're looking for vindication. Let me see if I can find this here. Where's Coco? There she is. Okay. All right. I feel like I have to explain this a little bit because I was unable to really dig in too deep on this. We covered this on an Access Vegas, but I wanted to point this out because I started my essay using this chick right here.
I do not accept a coffee or a walk as a possible date option, and neither should you. First of all, I'm not a dog that needs to be walked. Second, I have an espresso machine at home, works fabulous. We're not doing drinks either. You're gonna try to get me drunk and take me back home. No. We are doing dinner. You're gonna pick me up. We're gonna come to the restaurant. We're gonna see your table manners. We're gonna see what you order. We're gonna see, do you hold your chopsticks correctly? We're just gonna, study you a bit. Okay, so dinner it is.
I started the egg freezing process. I did some preliminary tests which showed that my egg count is really low. The doctors did tell me that might affect my fertility. It's just so sad. I've been like crying the entire day. Like I just feel this giant pain in my stomach right now.
Okay. That is Coco Butte, Beaute. And if you wondering why I'm even putting her on there in the first place, is because she was the first debate opponent that I had on Saucecast. Remember I told you I was helping Adam Sosnick develop Saucecast and all that shit? She was one of the first ones on there. You can still go find that video on Adam Sosnick show, Saucecast. Actually, all you have to do is like put on Rollo Tomasi and then Coco Butte, Koko Butte, right? And it's there, and there's a bunch of clips and stuff from that time. And she's talking, I don't need a coffee date. I don't want to go. The reason's like she said, I don't go on walks because on the beach, because that was part of what we were talking about during the show. And she's talking about this stuff like she doesn't need. I don't need to go on walks. I'm not a dog. We're gonna go to dinner. I'm gonna like. Kyle, do you know how to hold your chopsticks correctly?
Very much so.
I guess that doesn't matter too much to her these days. And so now during that time, like if you go to that video where I'm having this back and forth with her, everybody says, oh, Rollo, he should have like punched her in the face. He didn't draw blood. We need like even now, today, in 2024, there's still comments that are like maybe 2 weeks old going, man, we needed Myron and John Zerka on this show. Like John Zerka wasn't even fucking born back then. He didn't even know what he was talking about, right? And you got to remember this was 2022 and Myron wasn't the Myron today. So but everybody, oh, Rollo didn't punch her in the face. He played softball with her. He was too diplomatic, yada yada. And you got to remember, this was back in a time, or back in 2 years ago, or maybe almost 3 years ago, and we're developing a show. Okay, we're not like, oh, well, okay, you bitch, get off the show. Is that what you wanted me to do? But if you look at the comments back then and even now, you'll still see like the theme is, of course, oh, she's insufferable. She's she's one of them was she's going to end up in her 30s, 35 years old with no eggs and a spinster and everything. And lo and behold, here she is. And the prophecy has come true, right? She has a very minimal egg count, I guess now, and she's considering freezing her eggs because she still wants to have kids and she still wants to have this thing, but now she's getting hers. This is her comeuppance, right? Now, like that's the comeuppance, right? She's crying. So is Lily Phillips. She was crying too, right? And now it makes guys feel good. Ah, yeah, sweet revenge. She's no eggs, no eggs, no eggs. Remember that? No eggs, no eggs, no eggs. Ah, an empty egg carton. Everybody loving every fucking minute of it too, right? But that's not accountability, gentlemen. Oh, she's being held accountable. She's feeling punished. She's not learning anything. She still thinks she deserves the same guy. It's not like you taught her anything. There's nothing new for her to sort of pick up on, right? Just saying. But it does feel good. It does. Oh man, it's like, oh, sweet revenge. I love it. Like that's again, you don't get anywhere with that shit. If you want accountability, you need to seize authority back. You want accountability with these, like I was saying with when Matt Walsh was talking his shit, right? She didn't learn jack shit. And she's not going to learn jack shit. And you know what? Women are not going to learn jack shit from watching that either. Oh, how's it going? How's it is, right? How many women do you think like stop and go, oh man, I better change my ways or I'm going to end up like that too. Right after I shoot this OnlyFans video. No one is doing it. You know, empty egg. It feels good for the guys who are like there, like, you know, who, oh, see, we called it. We knew it was happening. Rolla was right again. Okay, well, okay, fine. But nothing changes. Nothing is there. There's no effective, like accountability does nothing. At least in that by that definition. Because that definition is not accountability. That's comeuppance. You wanted to see her fail. You wanted to see her get hers. You wanted to see her on her knees. Oh, you were right. I'm sorry. I should have listened to you. Even now, when she's trying to freeze her eggs, she would still not do that. She would still not she would not acknowledge the fact that what you were saying before, she should have been humbled. Do you think, let me ask you this. Do you think that like, if I were on there or Myron was on there, we kicked that bitch off the show and said, you need to shape up, woman. Here's your accountability. We're kicking you off until you learn a better lesson. And you know that, a coffee date is okay and chopsticks don't matter. and long walks on the beach are probably better than you think they are. You're just a typical materialistic American white bitch, right? Do you think that would have affected anything that's in the next video? And remember, that was 2 years ago. Coming up on 3, but that was about 2 years ago that she was really full of herself and riding high. And now, but do you think that she doesn't think she's riding high still? It's an inconvenience to her. She's crying about it. She wants sympathy for it. She wants people to sort of like empathize with the fact that she had to freeze her eggs, but she's not learned anything. There's no accountability. There is no accountability. That's the whole gist of, today's show, of course, because Lily Phillips is not going to be held accountable. She's going to take that $10 million and laugh her ass all the way to the fucking bank. And I would too. Oh, here you go. And mom's going to be happy as fuck. Doesn't her parents care about it? Yeah, they care about the $10 million that's in a fucking bank account. It's the same. Like, I remember watching that thing as somebody asked Jordan Peterson, they said, how much money are you worth? And I think it's like his worth on online was like something like $10 million. She's like, oh no. No. I'm worth way more than that. You might want to tone that down, Jordan. But I'm sure he's worth a whole lot more as working or being licensed by the Daily Wire. I'm sure he's got way more than $10 million right now. But trying to downplay that. But one of the things that gets me, and I don't understand why we do this sort of selectively, but for instance, I can remember when Joe Rogan moved over from YouTube over to Spotify. And if you said anything, I said, hey, I think Joe Rogan's kind of wrong about this. Or, if you had anything critical to say about Joe Rogan back then, there were so many like success gurus back then. They go, yeah, well, he's worth $100 million. So anything he says, $100 million. The sky is green, $100 million. Doesn't matter.
I think it was 250 million.
Yeah. So the money that he makes means he's right. He must be doing something right because he's got $250 million, right? Jordan Peterson must be right because he's got way more than $10 million. So does that mean that Lily Phillips is right in doing what she's doing? Hey, $10 million, you can't, so just shut the fuck up. Did you make $10 million today? No, you didn't. She did. She's right. You're wrong. Sounds a little bit different, doesn't it? She's fucking 100 guys in 24 hours. $10 million. She must be doing something right. She's going to fuck 1,000 guys in 24 hours. How much? Well, is that worth $100 million? All right, to amplify it, by an increment of 10. No, it doesn't. It matters what you fucking do. And I don't think a lot of people realize. You want to know why she's not being held accountable, or this accountability bullshit? It's because it matters what you do. What's the effect? Who's being accountable? Who learned a lesson from this? Who's living a better life as a result of this? I got fucking swamis in fucking India using my stuff. I hope I'm going to outlive. I hope my work's going to outlive me, right? Did I make $10 million today? I'll be lucky if I made $1,000 today. But the long and the short of it is what is the work doing? What is the idea? What is the principle? What is the concept? What's behind it? I don't care if it's making you $1 million or $10. Is it helping somebody? Is it pushing somebody to be a better person? Is it affecting change? Because that's what accountability is. At least that should be as far as I'm concerned, that should be the function of accountability, is inspiring people to change, to live better life or whatever, more efficient life. I don't care what the fuck it is, but inspiring people. Accountability should be inspiring somebody to affect change in their lives. You can call it bad or for better or worse. I don't care. But the thing is, it should be inspiring you to change. And as far as I can tell, Coco Butte, I mean, the only thing she's crying a little bit, but again, they're the same crocodile tears that I see coming out of Lily Phillips. And you know what? Same effect. Oh, that poor girl. you got these guys going, yeah, she got hers. And then there's this big army of women going, oh, that poor girl. She can't find a man. Men suck today. That's the effect. They don't care about like what her dating standards were. They only care about freezing eggs, right?